Right now we're going to check in with Stormwatch 12 meteorologist Oliver Smith as we catch up on how much rain we picked up yesterday around the region.
Yeah, we did pick up some pretty good rain throughout the region. Now, unfortunately, we're all done with the rain, but let's take a look at that. Picked up 2¼ inches, or actually just a tiny little bit over that for Brookings, but that was pretty nice, pretty beneficial rain. Crater Lake picking up about 1.7 inches of rain. Gold Beach, just about 1.5 inches, and then of course it goes way off because this was an atmospheric river and it was pretty confined to a small area. Medford picked up a little over 1/4 inch, and Grants Pass, Klamath Falls, and Montague about 1/10 inch or less. Now, current temperatures in the region right now, we're into the 40s, excuse me, 45 in Klamath Falls, or excuse me, 45 in Chemult, 48 in Christmas Valley, 58 in Medford, and it's 51 in Brookings with a nice pleasant 47 in Mount Shasta City. So there's a system that is up to our north that's given a few showers into the Cascades, may give a few showers into the Oregon coast later on this afternoon, although that's kind of doubtful, but there is that possibility for today. Otherwise, that's giving warm temperatures for us because the energy is way up to our north, so that means we're going to be looking at some pleasant weather south of that particular system. So here's our stormcast showing that possibility of some showers along the Oregon coast this afternoon. Otherwise, it's going to be a pretty nice day throughout the region. Temperatures are going to climb because we're going to be, again, on that warmer side of that particular system. Now, any rainfall amounts for today will just be very light and be confined to the Oregon coast and to the Cascades from the current little system that we're looking at right now with those few showers in the vicinity. So if you're heading off to, if your kids are heading off to school this morning, temperatures are going to be mild. We're going to be into the 60s by the time they're heading off to school. And then by the time they're coming home from school, temperatures warmer today, well into the 80s. So you'll definitely notice that definite warming throughout the day for today. Now, in terms of the wind gusts, we're going to be looking at breezy conditions, especially east of the Cascades for today. Not as windy as it was yesterday, but still plenty breezy throughout the region. Winds will pick up here into the Rogue Valley as well, but looking at wind gusts maybe 20 to 25 miles an hour. Forecast for today, we're going to be looking at mid to upper 70s east of the Cascades and generally low to mid 80s up and down Interstate 5 for the Rogue and Shasta valleys. And then we're going to be looking at mid to upper 60s along the Oregon coast. For tonight, we're going to be looking at a pretty clear sky, just some clouds over towards Crater Lake, but temperatures a little bit warmer tonight compared to what we saw last night. Mid to high 40s east of the Cascades and generally 50s west of the Cascades. We're looking at 56 forecast low for Medford. So pollen, unfortunately, that's going to stay very high for the next several days. No real relief because, well, we did pick up some of that rain, so that made it come down just a little bit. That's not going to last all that much longer. Now we're going to be looking at those hot temperatures starting to return once we get towards tomorrow, building off towards the south. And then once we get towards the latter part of the week, we get into a southwesterly flow, which could trigger some thunderstorms into eastern Siskiyou County and east of the Cascades once we get to that time. So temperatures are going to be plenty hot at this particular time. The only real relief will be closer towards Saturday, where we might cool off just a little bit. So here's your forecast for the Oregon coast. We're getting back into that Chetco effect once we get towards Thursday. Getting back towards the 80s, and you can see temperatures still pretty mild, at least for Brookings, into the 70s, and then it comes back again early next week. Northern California, dry. That's pretty much the simple word for the next 7 days. 80s and 90s, warmest on Thursday, a little bit cooler for Saturday. Klamath Basin, you might see some showers and thunderstorms for Thursday and Friday. Those hot temperatures return, low 90s at that particular time. For the Cascades, we'll go from the 60s today to 80s for Thursday and Friday, also seeing that slight chance of showers and thunderstorms on those two particular days. And the Rogue Valley, it's going to be pretty warm today, but then we start getting hot beginning tomorrow, and you can see temperatures, well, they're going to be very hot for the next several days.